Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Danny. Welcome to another episode of Seven Figure Real Estate Agent. And boy, do I have a treat for you today. I have my good friend Monty Felts, Hallisan Group CrossCountry Mortgage. We're going to talk lending, but more so than that, you are going to get so much out of this episode. I guarantee it. So if you're a real estate agent, buyer, seller, lender, this is going to be an awesome episode, which is actually brought to you by All-Star VAs. If you want to grow your business and scale, All-Star VAs helps you staff a cost-effective and efficient virtual assistant and system. Just go to allstarvas.com and book a demo call, and they will show you all the good stuff on how to grow your business. All right, so here we go. Monty, thanks for being on today. I'm so excited to chat with you.
Yeah. Glad to be here. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. First and foremost, tell us who you are, what you do, where you do it, so everyone knows how to get in touch with you and all that good stuff. We will have all your contact information down in the description, but tell everyone who you are.
Yeah. So I'm Monty Felts, as Danny said. I live in Flower Mound, Texas. Office is in Highland Village, Texas, right across the line from Flower Mound. So it's DFW for anybody listening outside of Texas. Been in lending now for about 8 years. I was in oil and gas for 12 years overseas, Nigeria, South Korea with ExxonMobil. And then we've been in this and building a group, like Danny said, the Hallisan Group. Hallisan is the tallest mountain in South Korea. So we named it that as a tip of the hat to all those years we spent overseas, multi-billion-dollar oil and gas. And so that's been a lot of fun. We built a great group, got a couple of offices in Dallas and Houston, but we're licensed in all 50 states. So we do loans everywhere. We have team members in Virginia right now. We've got some team members out in California, but again, we're everywhere. So yeah, residential home loans, pretty much if there's a way to get it done, we get it done.
That's awesome, Monty. I didn't know that about the name. I thought it was someone's last name, by the way, in your group.
That's what everybody thinks. They ask, who is Mr. Hallisan? Right. So in hindsight, it probably wasn't the best name. I just didn't want to name it my name because I thought I'm not anybody special. I don't want this to be all about me. I want to build something that's bigger than me, that other men and women can plug into and be excited about building it together, because I never wanted to be a self-made millionaire, self-made man. I don't need my name in lights. I want to go achieve greatness with other people. That's the fun of it.
Your name's going to be in lights today when we get 1 million views on this video. It's going to be all over the internet. No, but Monty, I want to get to the good stuff. So I've known you actually not that long. However, what I will tell you is that I think you're the best connector and best person that adds value to other people genuinely that I have met. And so I wanted to just ask you about that. You know, is that a skill that comes naturally to you? Is that something that you learned over time? Because what I want to tell everyone that's watching is, you know, a lot of lenders, in my experience, I've been in real estate for 20 years, you know, come at you with, hey, here are the programs I have, here are the rates I have, work with me, right? You do it in a completely opposite way. And that's really what I want to talk about, because you actually help your realtor partners grow their businesses and you add so much value to everything you do. Sorry, super long-winded question, but that's kind of what I wanted to chat about today, at least initially.
Are you stressed out juggling? Oh, shoot, I really can't juggle. Now my dog's gonna grab all of it. Okay, listen, this video is brought to you by All-Star VAs. Are you stressed out juggling your calendar, your email, all of the tasks you have to do, plus your personal life, which doesn't leave you any time to actually do the stuff that you got into real estate to do, like going on client appointments, negotiating deals, all the fun stuff. Look, if that's you, I have a solution for you. My team of all-star virtual assistants helps me do all of those things so that I can do the stuff that I love doing. And we can install an all-star virtual assistant for you in your business, whether that's an executive assistant, a social media manager to blow up all your accounts, a marketing manager, an inside sales associate, a customer care manager, and plenty of other positions starting as low as $4 an hour. All you got to do is go to allstarvas.com, book a call with our team. We'll tell you all about the program and see if it's a fit for you. All right, back to the video.
Absolutely. No, let's do it. So I would say it has been learned. So if you're out there and you're listening and you're like, oh, I'm not really a big connector, you can become a connector. I grew up in a family where our name meant something, not like we were famous or rich or any of that. But when we walked into a room, people knew my dad, they knew my mom, they knew their families. And so I quickly realized that it meant something to be somebody. And so I wanted to be somebody, but I also wanted other people to be somebody. And so I remember being 9, 10 years old and that happening a lot. And that made such an impression on me that I thought I want to do that for other people. So I had this passion then to connect other people, and the joy you get when you connect other people is just, it's indescribable. A highlight of last year was when a good friend of mine, a realtor in Dallas, called me, and she was nearly in tears. And she said, "You realize you changed my life. Like, you changed my whole view on the way a lender can build business with a realtor, for a realtor." And yes, I did send her a handful of leads, probably 4. I mean, nothing crazy, but it was more that I taught her how to ask for leads and how to, not just leads, not do you know somebody looking to buy or sell, but who can I bring value to? And this is the kind of person. So I'm really big on programming other people's minds, speaking to the subconscious mind to get them to help you with what you're looking to do. So that's part of it. Is it was a learned skill and it brought a ton of joy. The other thing is there's been a few people that I really looked up to, read a lot, and that is what they embodied. So one is Horst Schulze. He was the founder of the Ritz-Carlton, COO, short German man, wrote Excellence Wins. Commend that book to you, incredible book. He talks about how he took the Ritz-Carlton and made it into what it is today, and he could take an 18-year-old high school dropout and teach them to be a lady or gentleman serving ladies and gentlemen. And so I got to know him 6 years ago, I guess it was, in a couple of occasions. And then I reached out to him. I wrote that man 5 handwritten notes to his house in Sandy Springs, Georgia, and was like, I want to have a call with you. I want to have a call with you. Hey, I'm just being pleasantly persistent, and I want to talk to you one-on-one. Finally, he reaches out, and he said, Monty, I am so sorry. I thought my assistant reached out to you. I found out she didn't. I've been getting your cards. It's not that hard to find people's address, even famous people. Like, it's not that hard. So I wrote him these notes, and finally he jumps on a call from his beach house. He's got like messed up hair, and he's got a towel on and stuff. And he's like, I'm here to serve you. What can I do? And so I said, if you were me and you were building a mortgage company, what would you do? How do I embody the spirit of the Ritz-Carlton before it was the Ritz-Carlton? And so he pointed to Zig Ziglar, basically, help enough other people get what they want. That's the way you get what you want. And so if you're really young and you don't know who either one of those people are, Google them, look them up, go to ChatGPT and say, who is Horst Schulze? Who is Zig Ziglar? Zig Ziglar is one of the funniest guys you'll ever listen to, but he was really big on help other people. Just wake up every day, bring value to them. So on my wall over here, I'm going to try to turn this. I've got a priority pyramid on that wall. Check it out. And so that priority pyramid has an intimate 10. Those are the 10 people that I'm the closest to. Those people I want deep relationship with extreme influence. The next level down is my top 25. So those top 25 people, I want a strong relationship with influence. And then I've got my next 25 and my business partners. Those people, we have things we're doing together. Maybe we're not quite as close yet, but we're getting there. And so that came from a guy named Ben Wilson in Nashville, Tennessee. Really big realtor, nets about $2 million a year. Strong Christian man, got the same wife of 26 years, got great kids. One of his kids flew in last week. You got to meet him, came in here, did a big dinner for us, a big lunch for us, taught classes on how do you win the game and do that with certainty while still keeping your family, your faith, and all that. And so I've just surrounded myself with people that believe in that same philosophy of let's wake up every day and see what we can do to help other people. So I was excited about this today because of what it does for you. And I thought, I love Danny. I haven't known Danny a long time, but I love Danny. I love Elena. Like, I want to help All-Star VAs be the biggest, best VA company in the world. I get nothing out of that except the joy of knowing that I made it possible. Because at the end of our life, when you're laying there knowing it's all over, it's not going to matter what you did. It's going to matter what you did for all these other people. The funerals that are so well attended are the ones that person made an impact on all these other people. So that's what we got to do. We got to leave a legacy, but we believe in living that legacy before you leave that legacy.
I love it, Monty. Well, I mean, I'm telling you, you've really inspired me, over these last couple of months, getting to know you. I think, to do that more, because subconsciously I love doing that stuff. But then I gotta, for me, it's all about systems and implementation, which we will talk about in a second. But I got a question for you about your pyramid. So do the people in each category know where they are, and that, like, hey, if I'm down here, what do I need to do to move up to the next level?
Hey, that's the fun part. Yeah. My daughter was in my office this weekend. I was shooting all my June social media videos. I shoot them once a month. All my videos for the next month, we do them one day. Used to change clothes, and then I stopped. I was just like, whatever, it doesn't matter. Wear whatever suit. So she's up here and she's looking at her name. She's obviously in the intimate 10, but she thought it said the intimidate 10. And she said, why am I in the intimidate 10? And I said, well, that's not what that says. It says intimate 10. She said, what does intimate mean? That's a longer conversation, I guess. But it basically means we're really, really close. And she was like, okay, that's cool. So they do know that the people that are in that intimate 10, they get gifts. We do parties. They come to my house. We go skiing. It's not forced. It just kind of happens. Now, there is a system to it. My assistant follows a system to make sure we're doing gifts every quarter, doing notes every month. And so a lot of that comes from personalizationmall.com. It's a great place to do gifting that is personalized. So you might get a really nice phone stand that says work hard, play hard, Danny Batsalkin, and so it cost me $25, but to you, you got a personalized gift from me. You're just like, man, who does that? That's awesome. So yeah, there is a system to it. The people do kind of know. I don't make a big deal
Right.
to the next 25 people that, hey, you're in my next 25. Like, you might get to make it to my top 25. The top 25 people, I would say, they kind of know it just because we talk. And the business partners, it might sound like they're lower. They're not necessarily. Those people you have a lot of synergy with, they're just not doing the amount of business that you're probably doing and the amount of life you're doing with your top 25. And so for me as a lender, my top 25 is a lot of realtors.
Yeah.
It's a lot of realtors because that's the game. We got to bring a ton of value to realtors. When I can refer a realtor in another state, it blows their mind. I did it yesterday, and she was like, I've never had a lender refer me. And I was like, okay, well, get used to it, I guess, because if you're my person, I have a book here that has every state in it, and it's got realtors in every state.
That's awesome.
And so I know who the go-to people are. And so I want to know who the great realtors are in other cities, other states, because I want to refer you strongly, and I want you to program my mind in the same way I program other people's mind, that if you're in Charlotte, North Carolina, I want to know you're my person. You're in Charlotte. So now when I'm having a conversation with Danny, and Danny's like, yeah, I got a buddy. He's moving to Charlotte. You think you could do his loan? I would say, not only can I do his loan, but I've got the best realtor. I broke another person up from their realtor yesterday, which I'm not a realtor homewrecker,
Right.
But I do believe in getting people with the best realtors, like the ones that are really crushing it. And so I will often say, like I did to the buyer yesterday, who is your realtor and are you 100% sold on them? Or are you open to somebody who I think is amazing? And she said, well, I was going to use my next door neighbor who's a realtor, but if you've got somebody amazing, I'd rather just use them. So boom, done, got them. That's what we did.
I love it. And by the way, Monty, I asked you that question about the wall because I used to coach when I was a Keller Williams agent coach. I used to coach this agent, and he had a top 24 list, and he would literally tell people, he'd be like, hey, I have this list and here's all the stuff you get, but if you want to be in the top 24, I need 2 referrals a year. And he would tell them, and then people would be like, it was really funny because people would be like, how do I get in the top 24? They'd be like, you got to send me 2 good referrals. And so people would want to, it was a funny way to do it.
I like it. I just don't want to be transactional.
Yeah.
I want to be relational. I believe in that relational capital. Now, I do need the transactions. We're down on leads right now. I need every one of you out there listening to this.
That's right.
Hook me up. We will deliver. We are killers. I track everything. I know all of our stats. Lead to credit pull, lead to application, lead to pre-approval. We know it all, every percentage.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Monty, piggybacking on what we talked about earlier, because I think this is so cool. I went to one of your events. Obviously you're a great public speaker in a group and all that stuff. What I find, again, really interesting is the way you approach this, because if you go to most lender events It literally is just, okay, here are the rates, here's what we do, blah, 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 right? It's all the same stuff. What you do that I think is so unique and awesome is you actually help the realtors that are in the room how to grow their business, how to get leads and all that kind of stuff. And obviously, if you're helping them, they're going to come around and turn around and help you, which I think is just such an amazing way to kind of go about this. And I know that's one of your, one of the systems that you execute on. So I wanted to ask you, here's the question here, in terms of systems, because I'm big on that. How did you kind of develop all of these, the events, the networking, and then how do you keep all of that together?
Yeah, good question. So the way that I developed it was through coaching. I really believe in coaching. It changed my whole life. We came back from South Korea in 2018, started the mortgage company in January of 2018, and then we came back in November of 2018, and we spent $500,000, all of our savings, trying to get this mortgage company off the ground. So there was a lot of struggle, a lot of tear-filled nights, a lot of prayers that, God, do you care? Do you love me? Why do you need to humble me to this level? Like, I'm not against you. Can you just please, I was used to making $250,000 salary with ExxonMobil, and I left because I thought I could make more, but quickly we made way less and spent all this money. And so then I was just grateful to have anything. And so through that, we figured out a few things, got to making maybe $10,000 a month. And, we were barely making all the things we needed to do, not saving it all. And then coaching came around. There was a group that called me and they kept saying, hey, you need coaching. And I was like, I can't afford coaching. Then I reached out to a mentor and he said, you can't afford not to do coaching. And so we went all in, signed a 12-month contract, said, all right, I'll coach for a year. And up to that point, this was May of 2020. I had done $5 million in loans from January to May of 2020. And so if you remember, rates drop in March. Lenders start doing better in April, May. So I thought I was in a good spot. I was like, hey, I'm doing $1 million a month. I figured this game out. But then from June to November, I did 15 million more with coaching. And so I tripled it in that same 5-month period, and ended the year, had my best year ever, and then started in their highest level of coaching the next year. And we have just done really, really well, even through the hard years of, rates have been going up for the past 3 years, but we've still done really, really well. We've gone up to 55 million last year, which was like 83% growth in 1 year, but that's because of coaching. That's the reason I'm sharing that, is it's through coaching that I can really do well in a hard year, keep my team, keep them employed, that sort of thing. So right now I'm coaching with Impact Elite Coaching. Some of my good friends own it. JJ Mazzo, Josh Sigmund, Haley Garcia, great realtors, great lenders. And they're not trying to capture everybody. They just want the right lenders, the right realtors that want to really dominate, but also dominate in life, not just in their business. So yeah, it's been through coaching and then through obedience. You have to surrender to a process. And so I have surrendered. I still mess up all the time, but I have my calendar printed every single day. It's color coded, whether it brings me money, whether it's personal, whether it's administrative. I have an executive assistant. She starts texting me 5 minutes before every meeting. Hey, get on that meeting. Are you on the meeting? Give me a thumbs up. So we've put boundaries and filters around me that help me not get out of that so that I can thrive.
Oh, that's amazing, Monty. And obviously I'm such a big believer in coaching. I've been a coach. I've had coaches. And so I think, in every, and being like a former athlete, to me, it's a no brainer. It always interests me when I talk to realtors, because like the most successful realtors and the most successful lenders will have coaches, but then you talk to realtors who are not successful and they don't believe in it. So it's always interesting. And one of the things I think you do really well, it's something I always coach real estate agents on, which is don't be a commodity, don't just be the same as everyone else. And you do such a great job of standing out. So one of the things I wanted to ask you about, and you kind of mentioned it briefly just now, do you mind going over some of the systems you use? Because you have a lot going on. You have events, you have calls, you have meetings, you have these, gifts you're doing and all this kind of stuff. How do you keep all of that together, organized, and make sure that you follow up on everything?
Yeah, I'm laughing because I'm knowing that my calendar for the month is right there of all of our events. So in the month of May, we had an event on the 6th, on the 7th, on the 13th, on the 14th, on the 21st, on the 22nd. we did so many events back to back to back, and that will continue in June. We've got a lunch and learn on the 3rd. We've got a lunch and learn on the 10th. We've got a lunch and learn on the 17th. I got a pedicure event on the 24th. So we are just every week. And the way that we do that, and we're able to deliver again, is we batch it. I'm teaching the same lunch and learn on the 3rd, the 10th, and the 17th. I'm just doing it in my town of Flower Mound. Then I'm going to Fort Worth the next week. Then I'm going to Dallas the next week. So I'm 30 minutes away. So those same realtors didn't hear it. And I'm able to leverage then that same thing in these different places. And I have partners in each of those places that know I need their help to fill that up. So a title company, insurance agent. And so because they know I bring them value, I don't want their money. They're always like, hey, I'll help you sponsor it. I don't want your money because I don't like being asked for money. I don't like when realtors say, hey, will you buy me leads? Because I think it's just transactional then. I can do way better than that. Like I could actually build your business and make you way more money instead of just paying you a couple of bucks to buy leads or to do some marketing or something like that. Just think bigger. I want to expand their vision. So one of the highest compliments I ever get is when a realtor says, I've never met a lender like you. And I know then, okay, we're on the right track. And so some of those systems are executive assistant. So a VA will work so well. They don't have to know real estate. They don't have to know lending. They just don't. You can teach them a lot of it. Mine had zero experience in that. She's been with me a year and a half now. And she is a killer now because I have given her so much opportunity to try and fail, to break things. Just jump in there and let's do it. She reads all my email. I have an iPad that mirrors my phone. So she reads all my texts. She can see every text that comes in and she can respond to them as me. She can also confirm my meetings every day for the next day as me. Hey, Danny, confirming the meeting with Monty tomorrow at 8. You think it's me. It's not me. So I'm able to continue to do what I do and she's able to do that. And so some of it is letting a VA imitate you so that tasks that you don't actually have to do, they can do. And then it's batching things like the lunch and learns. Now, the lunch and learns, I have to give credit to my mentor, my boss, my coach, good friend of mine now, one of the closest men in my life. He's out in California. He's executive vice president of CrossCountry Mortgage. He built these lunch and learns over the past 10 years. As he was going up in the business, he built most of them. Now, I've started building some of them, but some of them he built. And so we just share them back and forth. I share stuff with him. He shares with me. So it's through collaboration that we teach these things. And so we have them already built, but they're all focused on how do realtors make $1 million? How do we create for them systems and structure? We have a text messaging workshop. We have one where it's all about your database. What do you do to your database? Not just have a database. I taught one yesterday that was the connector code. Like, how do you become a connector? What does it look like to be a connector for your other people in your life? Be the go-to person. So we create all these, but we want to bring massive value in that room so that everybody leaves and thinks, wow, I got something that was a benefit. Yes, I got a free lunch also, but I also got something that helped my business. So it's just a philosophy, I guess, that we want to do that. So through the coaching, it's given me the structures, the lunch and learns, the teaching of what I need to do, how I need to do it, and how much activity I need to do in a day. I know I got to make those calls. I got to go meet with people. I got to write notes to people, or I'll give you a flip on this. I attended an event yesterday with a lady who I think is really revolutionizing the referral game. And she's talking about modern referral strategies. And so I do a lot of it already, but I'm going to shift to doing a lot more of that because she's right. A lot of what I do, even through the coaching, is kind of outdated. And there's a better way to do it. And so we're always evolving. We're always learning. What can we do to stay with the times?
That's awesome, Monty. So do you also do webinars or do you just strictly do in person?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
We've done lots of webinars. I teach the same content. It's mainly demand. If we have people in other cities, other states that want to jump in there, it's great. One of the most fun webinars we'll do is we'll have one of the realtors who is the best at getting referrals from other realtors jump on there and teach kind of collaboratively with me. How do you do it? what does that look like for you to get referrals from other realtors? I have a friend in Dallas that she made $300,000 last year just from realtor referrals.
Yes.
That's it. Like, she made over $1 million, but 300,000 of it came from just being really good at staying in front of other realtors.
You know, I tell realtors all the time, like realtor to realtor referrals is probably the most underutilized source of business in real estate. You know, especially if you live in an area where people are moving to, like DFW, you know, like Southern California, places like that. I mean, that can be a huge source of business for you, you know, if you tap into that.
Yeah,
for
the
sure.
biggest one, though, is the vendors. I guarantee you that's where every realtor is missing massive amounts of leads and value. So, but realtors are second, definitely.
Yeah.
Realtors are the second place.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. So, Monty, here's a question for you. With all the, you know, with all the stuff you do, all the events and everything we're talking about, how do you have time to do the actual fulfillment or servicing? You know, I talk to realtors about this all the time, of your business, like actually doing the loans.
Yeah, it's a good question with a very simple answer. One of my good friends, Joe Soto, out in California, he has a sign behind his desk that answers that question. And it says real big, I get loans, I don't do loans. And so that is the mental shift that you've got to have as a realtor or a loan officer. If you want to scale, you're going to get business, you're not going to do business. And so I know how to do loans. Obviously, I had to learn early on because there was nobody. But as you start to build a team, if I have to do their job, I don't need them anymore. So I have to get the business. They have to do the business. So the way our flow works, I have somebody on the front end whose job is just applications. That's all she does. She takes applications. She chases down the documents. She asks for what we're going to need to review it for pre-approval. Now, will I take an application? Absolutely. If you introduce me to somebody, it's your buddies moving in from, let's say, Oregon, and you say, Monty, I would love for you to talk to my good friend. I might do it just because it's you. You're a VIP to me. I'm going to take care of that person. I'm going to say, oh, man, Danny's crazy. Give me some blackmail on Danny. You know, we're going to have some fun. I'm going to take his application. He's probably not even going to know it. He's going to think we're just having a conversation. Now, it's weird for people to ask you what your birth date is and your social is in a conversation, but hey, most people don't even blink. Now, I save that. Here's a little tip for you lenders. I save that to the end. And so I've got a great form. If anybody wants it, happy to share it. That's the application. We write them all out, handwritten, because I can make notes on that so fast. And they tell you a lot of the information throughout the call. When we start and I say, okay, so how'd you meet Danny? Oh, that's super cool. Okay, so what are you looking to do? When I say that, he's probably going to tell me a lot of what I want to know. Well, we're moving to Flower Mound. We're thinking a house probably around 1.2. Okay, cool. You know, I have a good job. They're transferring me over there. So now I know, okay, he's transferring. He's not going to be remote. Like, I'm just making notes and filling it all out as we go. Then I'll say, all right, let me ask you a few questions. I want to build out a profile because I want to send you some scenarios, get you some numbers. That's what they all want. They want the numbers. Unfortunately, we're only as good as our rates. At least that's what they think. So it's our job to change that, bring them other value, and show them things that take it away from just the rate. Because if you live by the rate, you're going to die by the rate. It's not good. Most of us don't have the best rate, especially if we're not in our basement with no team. Those guys have the best rates. They do, but they can't do what we do. So I will wait until towards the end of the call to say, okay, yeah, and what's your social security number? And then you shut up. And I would say we get about 80 to 85% of people's socials on the very first call. We do soft pulls. We don't do hard pulls. Mm-hmm. And so it's not manipulative. A lot of lenders will do a hard pull in the front end because of the concept of he who pulls credit first wins. We don't do that. We'll just do a soft pull in the front end. We just check. Then we can do a pre-approval. So that's her job or my job. We do that on the front end. Then after that, it goes to, we've got another person that's pre-approval specialist, production manager. Their job is to pre-approve the person. Take those docs, review them, crunch it. Cool. This is your max pre-approval. Send it back. Congratulations. They'll do a pre-approval meeting with that person, or I will, one or the other, depending on schedule. Walk them through what does it look like to buy a house. We've got a professional presentation. It's got like 25 slides in it. It goes through every single bit of what they need to know, educating them, bringing them tons of value, encouraging them. Selfishly, it builds rapport. This is all a game of relationships. So that first call, tons of relationship. The next call with the pre-approval, lots of relationship. So we're wanting them to feel very connected to us and to know we care. And that's the way we do that. Once they're pre-approved, they're out shopping. They find a house. Cool. We come back. We start it through the process, disclose it, and it moves through. But my team is all front end. That's what we do. We've got my executive assistant, and then we've got those two positions there. And that really works. We can flow really fast. We also have another concept we call PB&J, so like peanut butter and jelly. We keep it on our desk to remind us every time we talk to a buyer, a referral, a lead, anything, call the realtor, let them know. Hey, Danny, just talked to your buyer, Sally. She's good. She's just not turned in all of her documents, but she said she'll do it this weekend, long weekend, Memorial Day. She's going to get to it. Oh, man, thanks. Hey, Danny, while we're on the call, who else do you need me to call? Who else? Who you got? Like, give me somebody.
Yeah.
You're not like, dadgummit, Monty. Why are you always asking for leads? Because I'm bringing you value. I'm letting you know, hey, I got you. As soon as you hand somebody over, I own that person. We keep track of it. I'm going to keep you up to date on where we are. So that's one of our systems that I think works really, really well.
I love that, Monty. And that's so comforting, I think for, as someone who used to sell real estate full time, obviously, the worst thing I thought was always like you hand someone over either to a lender or you refer to another agent. And then you never hear anything, So you doing that, I think, is such a great thing. And obviously, like you said, you're building the relationship, you're adding value, you're building rapport. And that just, keeps those referrals flowing and keeps the relationships going. So that's fantastic that you do that. So Monty, I want to switch gears just a little bit to realtors because you've worked with so many. And, unfortunately, the statistics in real estate are not great as far as, how many agents actually do business. What do you see on your end as the difference between the agents you work with that do really, really well and then some of the ones that aren't as successful?
Yeah, it's really simple. Outside of coaching, which I would say coaching is usually a big separator. If you took a room of realtors and you said, how many of you are coached, move to this side of the room? How many are not coached, move to this side of the room? And you looked at their average volume, I think it would speak for itself. You'd be like, wow, that's weird. It's like coaching works. Same reason I have a guy, a mutual friend of ours, Scott Jansen, right now coaching me more on nutrition and eating and food and workout and all that stuff, because this guy's a genius. He created the system Fast, Eat, Live. He's had clients that were billionaires, rock stars. He used to get people ready for movies, get paid tons of money to get, really famous actors ready to go star in that role. So it's amazing what that's done for me as he's coached me in that area, how driven I am then. But it's made me so much more productive in work too, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so when I do my health really well, then I do my work really well, and then I do my marriage really well. And it's wild how that one thing dominoes into the others. So coaching is great. I'm not a coach. You can't pay me to coach you. So I'm not promoting myself. Outside of coaching, I would say it's warm referrals. It's the agents that go after and are brave enough to go after their sphere in a very strategic, intentional way, authentic, bringing value, not who do you know looking to buy or sell, but an authentic sort of a way. And they build structure systems around that to support it so that they can continue to do it really, really well. Because we fear, even I fear letting your sphere down. If you go too hard after your sphere, then what happens if you let them down? I had 30 of you at that dinner last week. It was really fun. It was really good, but that's also kind of intimidating because you are some of my close friends and people I want to take care of and impress and do big business with. And so to get around to everybody that night is hard to do. But you're never going to achieve greatness if you don't try. And there are people that can teach you and help you know what to do. Even if you're going to go it alone without coaching, there's still good systems and structures to put in place so that you get warm referrals. And so over the last 3 years, as the market changed and it was harder, the agents that did the best were the ones that were still getting their warm referrals. They were still converting high. People are still buying houses. We proved it. We had our best year ever last year because people are still buying houses. So it's being brave enough to go after that group of people, the sphere, the VIPs, the priority pyramid, whatever you want to call it, A pluses, SOI, there's all the different names. Call it what you want. That's the difference maker for agents. And anybody can do it. if you've got an agent listening to this call who's been 10 years in it and they've just been doing Zillow leads from their broker, it's okay. You can make a switch. Doesn't mean you have to go cold turkey. Just be brave enough to step into it and commit to it for a year. Hey, I'm going to go at this for a year. I'm going to do everything you tell me to do. And promise at the end of that year, you're going to tell your broker to shove it with those Zillow leads. And you're going to say, this is living. Like, this is way easier. And I make way more money. And it's more fun too.
Yeah, for sure. And by the way, I think the other answer to that is just like go back and watch this video, because this is a master class in how to build your business, whether you're a realtor or a lender, or really any, kind of service-based profession. I think you've laid it out so nicely for us. By the way, I got a funny story for you about your nutrition coach, health fitness coach at the thing, which, by the way, you did a great job. So you didn't let anyone down. That's for sure. That was an amazing event. And the other cool thing you did there, by the way, is you allowed the people in the room to connect with each other, because everyone was from different backgrounds. And so like we made some great connections through that. And so thank you, of course, but also like that builds even more relationship and rapport, because I'm like, hey, Monty, did this and connect those. So it was funny because they brought the dessert out and I was like, Elena, grab a lemon bar. And she's like, no, I can't eat that in front of the fitness guy, because I don't want to see it. And I said, no, I saw him grab a lemon bar too.
That's his whole system. So I encourage any of you, look up Scott Jansen, Fast, Eat, Live, because we fast on Mondays.
Okay.
Tuesday and Wednesday, we eat, meaning we eat no carbs. We eat high protein, fats, good things. So it's kind of like keto. And then Thursday through Sunday, man, you live. Like, you drink wine, you eat carbs, you have fun. Because at our church, I go to the Village Church where Matt Chandler is the pastor, and he likes to say, transformation is done, deep work is done in community over time. Deep work in community over time. Scott believes that same thing. Scott believes that God created your gut to be the thing that regulates your body. And so it's okay to live and connect with people. You digest differently that food when you are with people. Like that night we had that dinner, everybody's digestion was awesome, guaranteed, because we were having so much fun. I also did something there that I want to share with everybody, because I think it's a cool thing that I do that I've never seen anybody else do. And so it's a way you can help other people. At any event I hold, if it's small enough, what I want to do is I want to highlight who the people in the room are, because it's so much easier for people to connect with each other if they see what their commonalities are. And it's going to take too long at an event for them to figure it out. They don't know how to ask the right questions. And so if you're like me, or you want to be like me in that way and connect people, then what I did is I said, hey, everybody, I just want to thank the people that have come. And so I named them my name, and I said something really cool about what they do. I said, hey, this is Danny Batsalkin. His wife, Elena, he runs truly the best VA company in the world. Like, you got to get to know him. Super connector. He crushed it in real estate, came here. He's bringing tons of value. You got to get with him. I think he could help any of your businesses go to the next level through his VAs. Then I moved to the next person. So I planted that nugget. Now everybody's fascinated to talk to, who's this Danny guy? I didn't know you have VAs. Tell me more about that. Well, I'm in manufacturing. I don't know. Would it work for me? And he's able to say, absolutely, this is the model. This is what we could do for you. So help other people get there, even if you have to be the one that kind of sparks them, like a blind date, and you have to say, hey, this is the man, this is the woman, and like y'all should talk to each other, but talk to each other about these things that I already know you both have in common.
That was a great thing that you did. I thought it was amazing. So, the whole event was great, but yes, I picked up on that, and I've never seen that done before. Monty, I know you said you don't coach people, but you definitely should write a book about how you do it.
Maybe. I don't know. I just love doing it with the people I work with. Yeah. So I wish I had 100 realtors across the nation that asked, hey, I've got this. What can I do? That we could work together, because then this is full already, but I want the right people. That's the challenge with the priority pyramid, is you're always looking at it and saying, I don't think we're in as much of alignment as I thought, or you take from me, but you don't give anything. So therefore, we're not really aligned. I want givers. I want people that have that same vision. I've got one of those guys who's a good friend of mine. You know him well here in town, and he's a big realtor, does a lot of business, but he also cares deeply, and he's excited when I land big things. He's like, oh, that's great. Yeah. Like, you got that developer? Oh, cool. That's amazing. And so we share in each other's successes. We want to help each other recruit, bring on the right people, which is the other thing. I really think I should bring on more loan officers, probably, so I could just magnify this, because I can teach them to do what I do in any city in the nation, and I can plug them into our system anywhere.
Yeah.
And if they'll just do what I tell them, they'll make stupid amounts of money.
Yeah.
Like, if that's what they're interested in is money. If they want, I'll teach them to go beyond money, that, hey, let's go to value and legacy and let's do all that. But if you just want the money, we can start with the money. We can get you there.
That's a great point, actually, is I should connect you with other lenders as I meet them too.
I mean, it's got to be the right people.
Yeah.
There are some of those that are building what I'm building, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's great to know each other, but I don't have something for them. I have something for the guy who's like, I hate working with the people that I'm with. We're bringing on somebody starting next week, and she has not felt valued. She's paid well. She does good, but she said, they just don't value me.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, here's my vision for you. And she said, this is what I've been looking for. Like, this is where I want to finish my career, with this vision of doing this, helping people in this sort of a way. And so that's what I want. I want the people that want what we're offering. So I'll give you another tip that we got from another mutual friend of ours, Jeff Street, who's another guy that you should definitely look up. Any of y'all can call Jeff Street. Just make sure to mention my name.
Correct.
Be like, Monty Felts, give me your name. I should give his cell phone number. He's in Bali right now, so he would not answer. But Jeff talks about sorting, not selling. And so we all could benefit from that concept. Sort people, don't sell them. There are people that are looking for you. Just find those people. We don't need to try to turn people into buyers or sellers. They're out there. You don't have to worry. Bring them enough value wherever they are in their life stage, and they will be there eventually. And we just don't need to talk people into it. So Jeff's really big on saying, I'm just sorting people out. Hey, do you need what I have right now? If you don't, no big deal.
Yeah.
Do you know somebody that does need what I have right now? If you don't, okay, cool, keep going. And so he'll fill out 100 square poster boards and just want to talk to 100 people to figure out, are any of these people looking for me? And he said, it keeps me unemotional, and I'm just going to the next square. Okay. Does that person need it? And he said, every time I get to the end of it, the numbers are about the same. The same number of people are always looking for me. I just never know if it's number 97 or number 3 or number 25. There's somebody in there. So there's a good phrase I learned in coaching years ago. It's called the 5SW. Some will, some won't. So what? One's waiting. So who's next? You just don't overthink it. Just keep going.
Yeah, just keep going. I love that. Such great advice, Monty. This is so amazing. Thank you again for your time and for all of this great stuff. Again, I think, whether you're a real estate agent or lender, any business that's watching this, I mean, you can pull out all of the golden nuggets and the tidbits and create an amazing business for yourself. One thing, Monty, I do want to ask you is, I know you talked about kind of initially the challenges you went through, transitioning from salary to, basically a sales career. I did the same thing when I left being a lawyer, and I know how that feels. Now, of course, it seems like if someone's watching this, they might think, oh, everything's always perfect and amazing in every aspect of your life. I know as you're building a business, that's probably not the case. What are some of the challenges or, obstacles that you're facing now, or some maybe big goals that you have or things that you're looking forward to next?
Yeah. Well, I'll give you two things that come to mind. One is the struggle was real. Getting to here, it's always easy to see where somebody is and think, oh, they've got it easy or must be nice at their level. And it is nice. I'm super grateful for where I am right now. However, it wasn't easy to get here. Things broke along the way. Things that, has God repaired them? Yes. Are they the same? No, they're not the same. And so that's okay. I've made bad decisions. I've done things that as I was going, made mistakes with people, in hiring, in firing, in leadership. Nobody teaches you how to do it. You're going to make mistakes. And so if you're waiting till you've got it figured out, you're going to be waiting forever. You're going to have to make mistakes. Now, the thing I missed early on was having the coaching, having people around me that would guard me from kind of going off the rails and really breaking things deeply, that it was like, oh, that really hurt people. That was a bad decision. You shouldn't have done that. Now there's a lot of reparation that needs to be done. But we've done that, humbled myself, and moved on. So if you're in that space, just know you're not alone. I've been there. Our marriage nearly fell apart. We spent 4.5 months separated. Like, it was bad stuff that really broke because of how hard I was charging in business and how much just got broken around as I was pushing to just relentlessly get to where I knew we could get to. So I had to learn a better way to do it. And coaching was a lot of that. The now struggle would be still leadership, still learning to manage people well, motivate them well, hire the right people, get them to believe in how you want to treat people, sort of that Ritz-Carlton. It's a constant reminder of where we're going, why we do what we do, how much these buyers matter, their families matter. These are real people that are putting their trust in us. And so these realtors are real people who have families. This is their commission check on the line. They are trusting us with that. We have got to take that so seriously. And they do, but that would be a challenge just continually. And then I would say recruiting, bringing on, it's hard to get loan officers to take you seriously. They're like, hey, I get recruiting calls all the time. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I'm not just recruiting you. I'm really inviting you into something that I think will change your whole life. Like, I think your marriage will be better. I think your parenting will be better. I know you'll make more money and you'll have more fun because it's beyond just business. So that's a challenge, breaking through that initial dating phase, I guess, to get them to say, okay, like, maybe you are not selling something here. I had a realtor one time say, you're either the best, nicest guy I have ever met, or you are the greatest con man I have ever met. The first one. Let's go with the first one.
That's awesome. I love that. No, I love kind of talking about, and thank you, Monty, for being vulnerable there and sharing those challenges. Cause I just, I've done these conversations and then someone will be like, oh yeah, like you said, hey, that guy's an overnight success. I'm like, yeah, like a 20-year overnight success, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a good book, Chop Wood, Carry Water.
Yes.
Yeah. Chop wood, carry water. What you do in the dark puts you in the light. Like, that's what everybody sees. They see what's in the light. They don't see how early we wake up, how late we work, that we pull our computer out. We make sure that pre-approval goes out at 10 if that's when the offer's going in, because realtors work super late at night. Just, you do whatever it takes. That book back there on my shelf, Relentless, is another great one about Michael Jordan and Tim Grover and just being relentless. It's so good.
I love it, Monty. Well, this has really been a masterclass. I think someone can get so much value out of this. What last parting words do you have for our budding real estate professionals in any area here?
Yeah. So I would say you need to talk to me about our vendor to business partner program. Happy to share that. Happy to teach that in a webinar or teach it to your team. If it's one thing I could give you that will change your business, it would be that. We wrote this system to get your vendors, all those people you're sending stuff out to start sending it back. So it's not hard. Like, I got a form. I've built a system on it. It's like super easy. When I tell you, you're going to be like, oh man, that's so easy. Why didn't I do this all my career? Because you didn't know. Nobody teaches you to do it. But there's a really simple way to do that and to get all those people to join your team as free salespeople. They're out there. If you think about it, that's what every loan officer should see their business as. They should be so grateful for those realtors that trust them because they pay them nothing. They are out there all day long while I'm doing this. I've got realtors out in the nation, actually, talking to people, having buyer breakfasts, meeting with people, saying, okay, I'm going to connect you to Monty Felts. He's the best. Well, I'm already pre-approved with Chase. That's great, but you're going to want to work with Monty. He is truly the best, super creative. He's getting people's rates down. He's got all this stuff that he can do. Okay, cool. So if lenders could see that we should be so grateful for realtors, we should want them to do way more business. That's why I've spent my career and continue to helping realtors make more, do more, because I know that if they go do more, I'm going to do more. So the smartest thing is help them get to where they want to get to. I don't want to make a realtor go to 50 million if they don't want to. But if they're at 5 and they want to go to 10, cool, let's do that. Let's plug in that vendor to business partner system. Let's get you 10 more leads a month. You convert maybe 3 of those a month, 36 more transactions a year. Like, It's amazing. So that's the one thing I would say leaving this is I want people to reach out and say, hey, I need a lender like you. I want somebody that actually cares that I do more business. I don't care what city you're in. And if you've got a great lender, if you're like, shoot, I want that, but man, I like my lender. Cool. Introduce him, her. Like, let's just do it together. I don't care. We'll help them do what I've been able to do and grow.
Such great stuff, Monty. I mean, again, amazing. It sounds like we need to set up a webinar for that system for realtors.
Yeah.
And put that on. No, this is so great. And, thank you so much for your time and for sharing all of this with the folks that are watching and listening, because I think, for realtors, having a partner like you, a true partner as a lender, not just, someone that wants your business or that just talks about rates all the time, is such a great thing. And it'll help your business grow. So every realtor watching this, Monty's contact information is down below. Reach out, at least have a conversation and see if that could be a great partnership for you. Thanks, Monty. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks, Danny.